Hello, good people, and thank you so much for checking out my channel. I hope you guys are having a great week. I just made it back from one of the locations I had to travel to for my job earlier this week in good old Windy City, Chicago. It was cold there, rainy and cold, but I made it back home safely, thank God. So I did get a chance to watch Real Housewives of New Jersey, and the title of this episode was Forest of Fury. All right. So, excuse me. We started out with Jen and Marge meeting up with each other, and it's like before Marge can really sit down, Jen is being so apologetic and really expressing her feelings about the situation. You guys know that Marge spilled the tea about Jen's husband Bill cheating on her years ago. I think it's been over 10 years ago. So Marge has spilled the beans about that. And it's like Jen really can't take it. She's having a hard time dealing with this rumor being out there. Well, it's the truth with the facts being out there that her husband had cheated on her because she had tried to present to so many people, even her family, that they had such a perfect relationship, and there was nothing at all wrong with their relationship, no infidelity or anything. Like, she had the best husband, the best marriage, and she was the best wife. And she was also going hard trying to allegedly dig around on Jackie to see who, if it was true that Aiden had been sleeping with other women at the gym that he attends. So, and she had said a lot of things to Marge, knowing that her husband had did the same thing as Marge as far as going outside of their marriage. So, but here she is, and she's talking to Marge, expressing her feelings and how it really hurt, and it brought up a lot of the past for her, and she's very hurt by it. And I guess now she's realizing that she was digging and doing too much to other people, just like the pot calling the kettle black. Like, she had no right to be doing the things she was doing, and she said she was going to be more considerate of things. And so Marge was also sympathizing with her and letting her know that, she didn't think it was going to be such a turnout the way it was. She thought maybe that Jennifer would just brush it off the same way that Jennifer had advised her mom, to brush things off and not be worried about what other people would say or think. But she could see that this is something that's taking a toll on Jennifer, and she had no idea that no one in Jennifer family knew about this, because no one knew. But now they know, like her mom, her sisters, his family, like. And it's like she's been taking the blame for herself, thinking that, they're gonna say I haven't been a good wife, and that's why he stepped out on me. But even with all of this coming up, this is making her realize that she's always put Bill first, and he's she doesn't think that he's ever considered any feelings about her, anything that she may feel. And that she even mentioned about how when they first got together, because I do believe it was an arranged marriage, that's what they do in their culture. So when they first got together, they were learning each other, but he used to criticize almost everything that she did, and that really made her feel insecure. So of course, they ended up talking about, well, Jen was saying she wanted to make all her relationships good, not just with Marge, but also with Melissa, because she had called Joe out, Melissa's husband out, saying some names, and also calling him a crook, saying that his business was a crook or whatever, was cricket or whatever. And then she also wanted to make it up with Jackie, and she didn't understand where Jackie was coming from. And Marge told her, say, well, Jackie, she's thinking about how you went, even after things had settled down, you went behind her back and you tried to dig more to find out about who Evan could have been sleeping with at the gym, or who he still sleeping with at the gym, allegedly. And so Jen was like, well, how do you know it wasn't Teresa? And so Marge was like, what are you saying? Are you saying Teresa did this? And Jen was saying, well, I'm not saying that, but how does she know it wasn't Teresa? So it's like she's pretty much saying that Teresa was the one who was behind the digging, even though Teresa is the person that started this entire thing. So it's like Jen is confessing that Teresa was the person who also did the digging. So I don't know why Jen took it as her being the person that was doing this all before, and now she want to be honest about it. But that's the way Marge took it. That Jen was confessing that Teresa was the person behind it. But I'm kind of like, I hope they don't bring this whole thing up again. I want us to move past this entire rumor about Evan and him maybe going with other women in the gym, sleeping around or whatever. I don't think it's true, and it's something that we already dealt with as far as the storyline on this show. So just let it go. If they're gonna take it anywhere, just have it where Jen and Teresa deal with each other. As far as Teresa putting Jennifer maybe up to doing such a thing, or maybe Jennifer feeling like she had to take the blame for Teresa just to keep some of the heat off of Teresa, because it's like, okay, Jen, what do you owe Teresa? Did she help you get on the show or something? I mean, but still, you shouldn't owe her any loyalty like that to just be her puppet or whatever. And that is a comment that Marge made. She said something about Teresa had her hand up the puppet's ass or something like that. Marge is funny. I like Marge. All right, so then we move on to Frank and Dolores, and they are shopping for her mom. Her mom just had bypass surgery. So Frank and Dolores is out shopping for her mom at a nearby boutique. And so Frank, he admits to Dolores that he did see David, and David did share his feelings about Dolores with him. Okay, I had to pause for a moment. My mom was in the kitchen making coffee or whatever. So Frank and Dolores, they're at the boutique and they're shopping for Dolores' mom. We knew before that Dolores' mom had to have triple bypass surgery. She hadn't been in the best health. Like, she wakes up and she's eating carrot cake to start her day. That's not the way to go. It's not the way to go. Carrot cake is delicious. I've done it before, but it ain't healthy. So gotta let that cake and stuff go. Exercise, eat healthy, hydrate. Okay, anyway, so they're shopping for Dolores' mom, and Frank, he lets Dolores know that he saw David, because David still hang out with the family. He's hanging out with everybody except for Dolores. You know, since him and Dolores broke up, he's not dealing with Dolores. But he is still like dealing with the family, and the family seems to really love him. Her dad, her mom, her kids, Frank, like, David's in with the family, just not with Dolores. But hopefully him and Dolores will come around and be more cordial with each other. And who knows, maybe they will get back together, you know? I don't know. I think he kind of want to stay away from these cameras. Anyway, so while they're shopping for Dolores' mom and everything, of course, Dolores is walking around showing her new body, and her doctor did her well. She looks good. Go, Dolores. Flat tummy and there. I mean, it is flatter than a pancake. So Frank lets her know that David still, what the things David said about her. He said some really good things about her and that he loved her and all that stuff. But then Frank makes it clear to her that she needs to move on. So I'm like, okay, maybe David let some other things out of bed, but Frank's just not letting us know and letting Dolores know, you know, to keep from her feelings or whatever. So he tells her just to go on with her life, and he tells her that but she don't need to be sleeping around. And she was like, what? I'm not a person to be sleeping around. I stay in relationships for 5 years or more or whatever. And he was like, yeah, but I don't want you to be in your 50s now and just be like sleeping around. And she was like, no, that's not for me to do. That's what you do, sleeping with prostitute whores and all that kind of stuff. They're funny. I love their dynamic. It's so cute to me. I love it. For them to have once been in a relationship and they were married, and it seemed to be something that was awful because they divorced while she was pregnant with the second child, and she pretty much had to raise the kids by herself, she said, because he was always in the streets behind different women. So for them to now have this, it seems to be a beautiful relationship, and they seem to be more brother and sister now. I like that. That's pretty cool. So then we go to Jackie and Evan, and she's giving Evan information on her eating disorder. She reached out to some facility that could help her. In the facility, they gave her options as far as where she can go and check herself in and stay there like 3 days out the week or something. And she's against that because, of course, she does not want to leave her family. She has little kids at home. And not only that, she has her husband. So I'm quite sure that is something difficult to take on. But Evan told her if that's something that is needed to help her, then that's something she needs to do, because even though it seems that it's taking away time from the family now, this is going to help their family in the long run. So I don't know if she's gonna, they didn't get into if she's going to get into that, go into that program, but well, they did say that they will, they'll see about it, but she was saying something about going and then coming home every day. But the good thing is that she is reaching out for help, and hopefully she will get the help that she needs. I don't know, I got eyelashes itching and stuff. I don't know. Excuse me, guys. I have to go to work in a few minutes, but I wanted to do this recap. I'm so hooked on these shows and recapping for you guys. Oh my goodness. All right. So then we have Jen, who goes, she's at home and she's talking to her husband, Bill, and she shares her feelings. She shares more about her feelings about the whole situation, with him cheating on her and with him not, I don't think she's ever dealt with those feelings, and that's pretty much what she was sharing with him. And then they touched on therapy, but he's just sitting back. I don't even think he wants to go to therapy. It's like, and it's not all him, it's also the culture, so he's not really, he's not really understanding where Jennifer's coming from, because this is something she swept under the rug a long time ago, and it's resurfaced because now she's on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. So the cat is out the bag, and so she's telling him that she needs him to stand up to her more, him to stand up for her more, and the things that he should say when they're around the others and all that. And he's like, hey, I'm not saying any of that, because point blank period, I don't want to be around them anymore. He's saying he don't want to hang out with the group anymore. So it's like, okay, is he going to try to make Jennifer get off the show? I saw where someone was saying, I watched other YouTubes too, and I can't remember which channel because I was traveling. But I saw when someone said that they think that they're going to end up in a divorce. I don't think they're going to end up in a divorce because of this cultural thing, the way that they're raised, and I really think they're against divorce, which even African Americans, like some people, they're really against divorce, and I can see Jennifer and Aiden being against divorce. They're going to find a way to work through this, even if it got to the point where she's going to have to quit the show. So I would, if anything, I don't see them getting divorced. I see more than likely she will end up quitting the show, or something gonna, she's just gonna have to shut up about this thing that happened years ago and just leave it alone. Even if she just has to pretend that she's okay with it, she's gonna have to leave it alone, or else it's gonna really be a problem with Bill. And unfortunately, that's just the way they are set up. So, but he said he don't want to be around the guys anymore. So I won't be surprised if, even if she does continue to be on the show, I won't be surprised if he's not filming anymore for whatever reason. That's just my feelings about it. All right, so then we go to Jackie and Marge, and they're having lunch at Jackie's house, her beautiful house. I love her house. And Marge, she recaps her meeting with Jen, and she shares with Jackie that Jen had hinted that Teresa, Jen had said, how do you know Teresa wasn't the person that wasn't digging? And Jackie's like, what? And she was like, how dare Teresa do something like that when she's the person that has a big problem with other people asking questions of her now boyfriend, Louis. Louis, with all these weird videos that came out and all these accusations from his ex about his behavior and how he treated them. And so Jackie's like, oh my goodness, how dare Teresa, But like I said, I hope they don't bring this whole thing back up with Jackie and Teresa getting into it about the whole Evan rumor. Just leave it alone. So then we go to Dolores, Teresa, and Jen together. And of course, Jen is recapping her whole meeting with Marge and whatever. And then somehow they get to the point of they talk about Tiki, Tracy's Tiki, and Tracy about them questioning Louis. You know, they had asked Louis questions about the accusations on him before too. And so, of course, Teresa, she gets her panties in a knot. They stay in a knot. That's what she buy. She buy her panties and go ahead and tie them in a knot and put them on. She's always going crazy about something. So she starts to go crazy about them asking questions. She was like, how dare, I think the lady is Tracy, Tiki's wife. How dare she ask questions about Louis? I mean, did I bring up anything about how she used to be the nanny and that's how she got with him? So Teresa starts spilling the beans on Tracy. Like, who cares? Anyway, I don't even know why they picked Tracy to be on this show. They really need to recast. Get rid of Teresa, all of them, except for Marge. I like Marge. Yeah, Melissa definitely needs to go too. I don't even have nothing to recap on her. It was so boring. All right. So of course, Tracy, she set up this whole thing where they're gonna meet in the forest to do an activity. It's like where you can build relationships and learn how to communicate more with each other. So she set this whole event up for them. So I guess Tracy's a housewife. I don't remember the very beginning to see who's standing up there as an actual housewife, or maybe she's a bonus wife or something trying to be a housewife. I don't know. Anyway, so all the ladies go, they start arriving. Teresa comes. She's so pissed off. She has a straight up attitude. I think she's also pissed. She's pissed off because Tracy is really trying to get her spot as a housewife. So Tracy, she's been saying stuff to Teresa about how she should stand up for Melissa and Joe. And then Tracy's also been saying things about Teresa's boyfriend Louis, you know, about the videos and all the accusations that came out about him. Not only Tracy, but her husband too. So they've been working. They really been trying to seal the deal with being on the Housewives of New Jersey. They want that spot. They want that check. So maybe they're also going to get a bonus or something. I don't know. But Teresa's kind of pissed off. So she's pissed off that the girl's been asked a question about her boyfriend. She's also pissed off probably because she's trying to become a housewife or whatever. It's like anytime there's someone new and fresh comes to the show, we always have someone that have a problem with the newbie. And that's just life in general. Sometimes you even see that at the workplace, at a regular workplace. Somebody new coming to the office, is always somebody hating about something. She don't know what she doing. How did they hire her? What's her credentials? All that kind of crap stuff. So anyway, Teresa, she's out there. She shows up and she's talking plenty of smack. She's calling the entire event dumb and stupid and saying it was dangerous because it's like one person had to lead the other person while they were blindfolded or had their eyes covered, and they were like walking on planks up in the air, but you couldn't see. You had to take the direction of your partner who was standing down from the ground. And of course, Teresa did not participate with that. And then Tracy tried to get her to partner with her, and she didn't even address Tracy. She told Melissa, you go partner with her, that's your damn friend and all that. I mean, she was really tripping out. So then her and Marge got into it, and she was telling, and she keeps on about Marge being low down and dirty, about letting Jen's secret out about her husband had cheated on her years ago. And Marge's like, what? We've already made up about that. And Jen's up on the plank. She was like, yeah, we made up about this or whatever. And Teresa's still going on, and she's calling Marge nasty and disgusting. Marge's like, no, you're nasty and disgusting. It kind of get heated, and that's how it ended. So we'll see what happens next week. I don't think they're going to put hands on each other, but Teresa, she's got the right one now, and I love that Marge does not back down on her, because Teresa's really an idiot, and it's bad to call someone an idiot, but she's an idiot, and I feel okay calling her that. Yeah, Teresa's an idiot. She wants to compare what she did to Jackie as far as to going to Jackie's husband's party and walking around the party, spreading rumors about Jackie's husband, who the party was for saying that he was sleeping around with somebody in the gym, and she had no sources, she had no proof whatsoever, and she didn't care about spreading this rumor. But now that Marge has let the truth be out, and this is actual truth, that Jen's husband cheated on her 10 years ago, and Jen even admitted to it, and even her husband is not denying it. She's saying Marge is a terrible person. No, Teresa, get yourself together. Get yourself together. So anyway, there is I want them to recast, except for Marge. I like Marge. And Dolores, she's always on Teresa's side. She takes up for Teresa all the time. She always speaks her mind about other people, and she's very blunt to other people, but not to Teresa. But then again, maybe because she knows she's dealing with an idiot, even though that's her friend. So maybe that's why she goes easy on Teresa. Because sometimes some people you really can't get through to, and maybe that's just Teresa. You can't get through to her. You can't explain anything to her logically. So I don't know. Because Dolores did let Jennifer know that, yeah, the things you did, and you dig a lot, you're wrong for it. And you can't get mad just because your stuff is out there in the streets, especially the way you were handling yourself. So I do appreciate Dolores for telling her that. But I'm like, Dolores, why don't you use that same energy when it comes to Teresa? I don't get it. Well, that was a recap of Real Housewives of New Jersey, and we'll see what comes next on the next episode. This episode was pretty okay. I stayed entertained because, it was a lot of. It's interesting with Jennifer and Marge and this whole dynamic of Jennifer and her husband, just to see how things are going and just to get a read on people. And like I said, I don't think that Jen and her husband will ever divorce. I think they will stick it out and stay together forever. If anything, he would have her to quit the show, or he would just stop filming him and the kids on the show with her. So thank you guys so much for checking out my video. I hope you continue to have a great week and be good to yourselves and to others. Bye.